Ballerina, marketed as From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, is a 2025 American action thriller film directed by Len Wiseman and written by Shay Hatton. It is a spin-off installment within the John Wick franchise, taking place between the events of John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019, and Chapter 4, 2023. It stars Ana de Armas as a ballerina and assassin Eve Macarro, who takes on an army of killers as she avenges the death of her father. The supporting cast includes Anjelica Huston, Gabriel Byrne, Lance Reddick, in his final screen appearance, Norman Reedus, Ian McShane, and Keanu Reeves. Development on a fifth John Wick film began in 2017, after Hatton, who also contributed to the third and fourth films, wrote a spec script intended for a spin-off. Wiseman was appointed director in October 2019, with Chad Stahelski, the franchise's regular director, returning as a producer. Casting for Ballerina began in April 2022 and was rounded out by that December, with de Armas, Byrne, and Reedus joining the cast and Huston, Reddick, McShane and Reeves returning. Composer and John Wick regular Tyler Bates also returned to score Ballerina. Principal photography began in November 2022 and lasted until January 2023, mainly in Prague and Budapest. Reshoots followed in February 2024. Ballerina was theatrically released in the United States by Lionsgate on June 6, 2025, a year after it was originally scheduled to. The film received generally positive reviews from critics and grossed $137 million worldwide on a $90 million production budget. Plot: Eve Macarro is the daughter of assassins Javier of the Ruska Roma crime syndicate and his cultist wife. As a child, Eve was taken away from the cult by Javier, which led to the death of her mother. To retrieve Eve, the cult and its chancellor raid their home. Javier dies as he helps Eve escape. New York Continental manager Winston Scott brings Eve to the Ruska Roma, an assassin's society under the cover of performance dancers, where she meets their director and agrees to enlist. Over the next 12 years, Eve trains as a ballerina, assassin, and bodyguard. She briefly meets John Wick during his visit with the director C, and he hints at an escape from the cycle. However, Eve completes her training by killing a former Ruska Roma member and earns the title of Kiki Mora. On her first mission, Eve successfully protects her first ward. While on a mission 2 months later, Eve is attacked by and kills a cultist. Seeking revenge, she asks the director about the cult but is forbidden from pursuing them due to a long-standing truce between the cult and the Ruska Roma. Eve disobeys the director and visits the New York Continental to meet Winston. Winston reveals that one cultist, Daniel Pine, is staying at the Prague Continental with a large bounty on his life. Eve travels there and infiltrates Pine's room. She discovers Pine is hiding his daughter Ella from the cult. Cult member Lena increases the bounty on Pine, causing several assassins to descend upon Pine's hotel room. Pine entrusts Ella to Eve, promising to give her information on the cult later. As they exit the hotel, cultist Dex shoots Pine, while Lena incapacitates Eve and kidnaps Ella. The Continental staff execute 2 captured assassins for their attack but spare Eve after determining she did not break any Continental rules. Eve attempts to purchase weapons from arms dealer Frank, but the cult attacks his shop. After Eve kills the assailants, Frank helps her narrow down the location of the cult's base in Hallstatt, Austria. As Eve enters the town, she quickly comes under attack by its inhabitants, all of whom are cultists. Eve is eventually captured and brought to the Chancellor. He reveals the cult is a refuge for former assassins and that Pine is his son and Ella his granddaughter. Eve breaks free before being cornered by Lena, who reveals she is her older sister. Lena says Javier abandoned her during his escape as he feared that the cult had already indoctrinated her. The Chancellor then orders their deaths. Lena is killed, but Eve manages to escape. The Chancellor calls the director to declare war on the Ruska Roma. The director explains that Eve went rogue and appeases the Chancellor by hiring John Wick to eliminate her. John arrives at Hallstatt, where he finds and quickly defeats Eve, but implores her to abandon her pursuit. Eve pleads for her revenge, prompting a sympathetic John to give her until midnight to kill the Chancellor. Eve resumes fighting the cult while John assists her from a distance, killing Dex and several other cultists. The Chancellor attempts to flee with Ella, but Eve corners them. The Chancellor attempts to reason with Eve, but she executes him and rescues Ella. John informs the director of the Chancellor's demise, which she accepts. Ella is reunited with the recovering Pine at the Prague Continental. Eve seeks refuge at the New York Continental, having left the Ruska Roma, and is warned by Winston that the surviving members of the cult will seek revenge against her. While attending a ballet performance by her friend Tatiana, Eve learns of a $5 million bounty on her head, and she leaves the theater. Cast: Ana de Armas as Eve Macarro, a ballerina who is beginning to train in the assassin traditions of the Ruska Roma. 7 According to co-star Ian McShane, the character is under the protection of Winston and Karen in the New York Continental Hotel during the course of the film. 8 Victoria Conte as young Eve. Angelica Houston as the director, the leader of the Ruska Roma, a New York-based organization of ballerina assassins. 9 Gabriel Byrne as the Chancellor. 10 The leader of a dangerous cult of assassins based in Hallstatt. 8 11 Lance Reddick as Karen, the concierge at the Continental Hotel in New York and friend of Winston Scott and acquaintance of John Wick. 12 This was Reddick's final appearance as Karen, an overall final on-screen appearance released posthumously 2 years following his death in March 2023. 13 Norman Reedus as Daniel Pine, an assassin, and the Chancellor's son who is escaping the cult. 14 Reedus admired Keanu Reeves for the film series, demanding "I need a love adval all day long type of job." Reedus contrasted the film's tightly choreographed fight scenes with the loose and sloppy ones in his television series The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon. 15 Catalina Sandino Moreno as Lena, an assassin working for the Chancellor, who is Eve's long-lost older sister. 16 Anne Paralod as Prague concierge, cameo cut from the theater release. Ian McShane as Winston Scott, the enigmatic owner of the New York Continental Hotel and friend of John Wick. 17 Keanu Reeves as John Wick, a legendary assassin who is on the run from the high table. Clarification needed. Sharon Duncan Brewster appears as Noki, Eve's mentor. 18 Choi Soo-young plays Katla Park, Eve's first field mission protectee, while Robert Mosser plays Dex, the Chancellor's right-hand man. 19 Young Do-hong appears as Il Sohn, who attempts to capture Katla. 20 Waris Aluwalia appears as the Eye, a cultist overseeing the town, while David Castañeda plays Javier Macarro, Eve and Lena's father, who is affiliated with the Ruska Roma. 21 Abraham Popola stars as Frank, a high-end arms dealer based in Prague, while Ava McCarthy plays Ella Pine, the Chancellor's granddaughter and Pine's daughter. 22 Juliette Doherty Fr portrays Tatiana, a talented ballerina who was a former trainee of the Ruska Roma alongside Eve before she was dismissed. 23 Daniel Bernhard plays the Scarred Eye assassin, after previously portraying Kirill in the first film. 24 Production Development. Ana de Armas was cast in 2021 to play a ballerina assassin named Eve Macarro. Shay Hatton was inspired by the trailer to John Wick, Chapter 2, 2017, to write a spec script about a ballerina assassin. Although his action thriller Ballerina was conceived as a standalone project, when Lionsgate acquired it in July 2017, they had Hatton rewrite it as part of the John Wick universe. 25 Thunder Road would produce the film, and some of its concepts were woven into John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019, which features Unity Felon portraying a ballerina. 26 Hatton's script was voted onto the blacklist of Best Unproduced Screenplays in 2017. 27 By October 2019, Len Wiseman was hired as director. 28 Wiseman was endorsed for the job after pitching his take to producer Chad Stahelski, whom Wiseman had previously directed as a stunt performer in the 2007 film Live Free or Die Hard. 29 In May 2020, it was reported that Lionsgate was casting its leading actress, with Chloe Grace Moretz as the template for the kind of talent they were looking for. 30 Also that month, ballerina producer Chad Stahelski confirmed that he and his 8711 stunt team would be working closely with Wiseman on the action sequences and stunts, while acknowledging the variety Wiseman's filmmaking style would bring to the John Wick franchise. At that point, Wiseman and Hatton were working on a newer draft of the script. 31. By October 2021, Ana de Armas entered negotiations to play the titular character. 32 In April 2022, Lionsgate officially announced Ballerina at Cinemacan, and revealed that de Armas would star in the lead role. 33 By July 2022, upon de Armas's insistence for the involvement of a female screenwriter, Emerald Fennell was hired to take a pass on the script. 34. Filming. Initially scheduled to commence in summer 2022, 33 Principal photography officially began on November 7, 2022, in Prague, Czech Republic. 35 1736 Throughout the month and in early December, it was announced that Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Angelica Houston, and Lance Reddick had joined the cast and would reprise their roles from previous films of the franchise, as John Wick, Winston Scott, the director, and Karen, respectively. 1737 912 Throughout December, Catalina Sandino Moreno, Norman Reedus, and Gabriel Byrne joined the supporting cast in undisclosed roles. 1638 39 Ballerina was in post-production in February 2023. 40. In February 2024, producer Chad Stahelski was working on additional action sequences for the film with director Len Wiseman. 41 By March, David Castañeda and Sharon Duncan Brewster joined the cast. 21 Reportedly, Stahelski oversaw 2 to 3 months of reshoots, refilming the majority of the movie, with Wiseman not present on set. 1 However, both Stahelski and Wiseman refuted this claim, saying that it was only 2 weeks of additional photography and that Stahelski oversaw it with Wiseman. 42 Star Norman Reedus traveled from Japan to film his added fight scenes in Budapest. 15. Music. Main article, Ballerina, soundtrack. By April 2023, Marco Beltrami and Anna Drubic were hired as the composers. Beltrami had previously worked with Wiseman on Underworld, Evolution, 2006, and Live Free or Die Hard, 2007. 43 Later, in September 2024, the duo was replaced by regular franchise composers Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard. 44 The soundtrack to Ballerina was released by Lakeshore Records on the same day as the film's release, consisting of 25 cues. 45. Marketing. The first marketing material for the film, shown at the April 2024 Cinemacan convention, was a short teaser trailer released to the closed-door audience. 46 Entertainment Weekly reported that the trailer included Karen, Winston, Norman Reedus's undisclosed character, and Wick in a cameo appearance at the end. 47 There, its title was presented as John Wick Presents Ballerina. 1148 Bleeding Cool called the footage exactly what Cinemacan dreams are made of. 49 On September 26, 2024, the film's first trailer was released by Lionsgate. 50. Release. Ballerina was released in the United States on June 6, 2025, after being delayed a year from its originally announced date of June 7, 2024. 51. Reception. Box office. Ballerina has grossed $58.1 million in the United States and Canada, and $79.1 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $137.2 million. 65. In the United States and Canada, Ballerina was projected to gross $28 to $30 million from 3,409 theaters in its opening weekend. 52. It made $10.5 million on its first day, including $3.75 million from Thursday previews. 53. It went on to debut to $24.5 million, slightly below projections and finishing in second behind holdover Lilo and Stitch. 54. In its second weekend the film made $9.4 million, a drop of 62%, falling to fifth place behind Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Materialists, Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. 56. Critical response. Ballerina received generally positive critical response. 57. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 76% of 301 critics' reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads, equipping a steely Ana de Armas with creatively brutal action choreography and a pleasingly kooky origin story, Ballerina pirouettes gracefully onto the Wickverse center stage. 59. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 59 out of 100, based on 49 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 60 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film a grade of A, on an A+ to F scale, while those surveyed by PostTrack gave it an 87% positive score, with 79% saying they would definitely recommend it. 55. Alison Wilmore of Vulture gave a positive review, "It's absurd, and thrilling, and gorgeous, and I don't know what got us there, but while Ballerina doesn't start off as a real John Wick movie, it sure ends as one." 61. Clint Gage of IGN wrote, "It's a spin-off that knows why the John Wick series has been so successful, and both effectively follows the rules while adding to the ever-expanding world. While it takes a good portion of its screen time to find confident footing, when the second half gets moving, the energy is undeniable as Ballerina becomes one funny, bloody, and creative fight scene after another." 62. Justin Clark of Slant Magazine was more critical of the film, "Sends a mythology of its own, or any substantive ties into where the John Wick films go chronologically after this. Ballerina is just another 8711 joint." 63. Accolades. Award date of ceremony category recipient, S, result ref. Critics' Choice Super Awards August 7, 2025 Best Actress in an Action Movie Ana de Armas nominated 64. Future. In March 2023, producer Erica Lee said the studio has plans to develop a sequel with de Armas returning as Eve. 65. In a 2025 interview after the film's release, Wiseman spoke about his ideas for a continuation of the story, including Eve having to deal with the consequences of her actions. 66. He said he cast Norman Reedus because he has plans for his character. Ana Celia de Armas Caso, Spanish pronunciation, Ana Celia y Armas Caso, born April 30, 1988, is a Cuban, American, and Spanish actress. She began her career in Cuba with a leading role in the romantic drama Una Rosa de Francia, 2006. At the age of 18, she moved to Madrid, Spain, and starred in the popular drama El Internado, 2007 to 2010. After moving to Los Angeles, de Armas had English-speaking roles in the psychological thriller Knock Knock, 2015, and the comedy crime film War Dogs, 2016. De Armas rose to prominence for her roles as the holographic AI Joy in the science fiction film Blade Runner 2049, 2017, and Nurse Marta Cabrera in the mystery film Knives Out, 2019, receiving a nomination for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Motion Picture Comedy or Musical. She then played Bond girl Paloma in the James Bond film No Time to Die, 2021, and actress Marilyn Monroe in the biographical drama Blonde, 2022, for which she became the first Cuban nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She then led the action thriller Ballerina, 2025, a spin-off installment in the John Wick franchise. Early life. De Armas was born in Havana, Cuba and raised in Santa Cruz del Norte. 3. Her maternal grandparents were Spanish immigrants to Cuba from the regions of Gardo, Leon, and Valverde de la Sierra Palencia, both in the north of Spain. 456 Her father Ramon de Armas had various jobs, including bank manager, teacher, school principal, and deputy mayor of a town. 7 He previously studied philosophy at a Soviet university. 7-8 Her mother Ana Caso worked in the Human Resources section of the Ministry of Education. 9-10-11 De Armas has one older brother, Francisco Javier de Armas Caso, an American-based photographer. 7-12 Who, in 2020, was questioned by Cuban police due to his critical stance on Decree 349 and his links to artists under government surveillance. 13 While de Armas grew up with food rationing, fuel shortages and electricity blackouts during Cuba's special period. 7-14 She has described her early life as happy. 9. During her childhood and adolescence, de Armas had no internet access and had limited knowledge of popular culture beyond Cuba. 15-16 She was allowed to watch 20 minutes of cartoons on Saturday and the Sunday movie matinee. 17. Her family did not own a video or DVD player, and she watched Hollywood movies in her neighbor's apartment. 18 She memorized and practiced monologues in front of a mirror. 19-20 And decided to become an actress when she was 12. 21 In 2002, aged 14, she successfully auditioned to join Havana's National Theater of Cuba. 9-22 She sometimes hitchhiked to attend the rigorous course. 23-24 While a student, she filmed 3 movies. 7-10 She left the 4-year drama course shortly before presenting her final thesis because Cuban graduates are forbidden from leaving the country without first completing 3 years of mandatory service to the community. 10-25 At age 18, with Spanish citizenship through her maternal grandparents. 4-14 She moved to Madrid to pursue an acting career. 10. Career beginnings in Spanish cinema, 2006 to 2013. In her native Cuba, de Armas had a starring role opposite Alex Gonzalez in Manuel Gutierrez Aragon's romantic drama Una Rosa de Francia, 2006. 14 Cuban actor Jorge Perigoria suggested that the director consider de Armas for the role, after meeting her while attending a birthday party with his daughters. 26-27 The director visited de Armas's drama school and interrupted the 16-year-old during her audition to inform her that the role was hers. 26-28 She traveled to Spain as part of a promotional tour for the film and was introduced to Juan Lanja, who would later become her Spanish agent. 26 She then starred in the movie El Eden Perdido, 2007, and had a supporting role in Fernando Perez's Madrigal, 2007, filmed at night without the permission of her drama school tutors. 10. De Armas, standing at the center with number 4, with the cast of El Internado in 2008. At age 18, de Armas moved to Madrid. Within 2 weeks of arriving, she met with casting director Luis San Narciso, who had seen her in Una Rosa de Francia. 2 months later 29 he cast her as Carolina in the drama El Internado 10 in which she starred for 6 seasons from 2007 to 2010. The television show, set in a boarding school, became popular with viewers and made de Armas a celebrity figure in Spain. 10 In a break from filming, she starred in the successful coming-of-age comedy Ment Iras y Gordas, 2009. 30 Despite the popularity of El Internado, de Armas felt typecast and was mainly offered roles as youngsters. 15 She asked to be written out of the show in its second to last season. 31. After spending a few months living in New York City to learn English. 25 De Armas was persuaded to return to Spain to star in 17 episodes of the historical drama Hispania, 2010 to 2011. 3 She then starred in Antonio Trashoraz's horror films El Callahan, 2011, and Annabelle, 2015, 32 and in the drama Por un puñado de besos, 2014. 33 During a long period without acting work. 23 De Armas participated in workshops at Thomas Pander's Madrid Theatre Company 7 and felt very anxious about the lack of momentum in her career. 17. Transition to Hollywood and breakthrough, 2014 to 2019. De de Armas at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2017. With encouragement from her newly hired Hollywood agent, she decided to move to Los Angeles. 15 When de Armas first arrived in Los Angeles in 2014, 34 she had to start her career again from scratch. 18. She spoke very little English and, during early auditions, she often didn't even know what she was saying. 8. She spent 4 months in full-time education to learn English. 35 31 Not wanting to be confined to playing characters written specifically for Latina actresses. 10 She starred opposite Keanu Reeves in her first Hollywood release Eli Roth's erotic thriller Knock Knock, 2015, and learned her lines phonetically. 36 Despite giving a positive review of the film, Randy Cordova of the Arizona Republic found de Armas to be unconvincing in her role. 37 Reeves then telephoned de Armas to invite her to star in a Spanish-language role in the thriller Daughter of God, which he acted in and produced. 38 Producer Mark Downey hoped the film would be a star vehicle for de Armas, but due to executive meddling, Daughter of God was severely edited with de Armas' former starring role reduced. The film was ultimately released as Exposed in 2016. 39 40 Frank Sheck of The Hollywood Reporter noted that while she was appealing in her part, de Armas was unable to demonstrate her character's intense emotional demands. 41. De Armas had a supporting role in Todd Phillips's War Dogs, 2016, acting opposite Miles Teller as the wife of an arms dealer, and again learned her lines phonetically. 42 David Ehrlich of IndieWire found her to be memorable in a thankless role. 43 She starred opposite Edgar Ramirez in the biopic Hands of Stone, 2016, as the wife of Panamanian boxer Roberto Duran. Despite its delayed release, Hands of Stone was the first Hollywood film de Armas had filmed. While still living in Madrid, she was contacted by director Jonathan Jacubois, who had watched her in El Internado 31, who asked her to travel to Los Angeles to audition for the Spanish-language part. 14 In reviewing the film, Christy Lemire of RoachRevert.com described de Armas as a hugely charismatic presence. But except for a couple of showy moments, she gets little to do besides function as the dutiful wife. 44. In Denis Villeneuve's futuristic thriller Blade Runner 2049, 2017, de Armas had a supporting role as Joy, the holographic AI girlfriend of Ryan Gosling's character, a Blade Runner. Mark Kermode of The Guardian said she brings three-dimensional warmth to a character who is essentially a digital projection. 45. Anthony Lane of The New Yorker found her to be wondrous. Whenever Joy appears, the movie's imaginative heart begins to race. 46. While the performance was initially discussed as a breakthrough role, 47-34 the film underperformed commercially, and de Armas spent much of the following year in her native Cuba, where she purchased a house. 36 For her performance, she earned a nomination for the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress. Also in 2017, she had a supporting role in the action thriller Overdrive as the love interest to Scott Eastwood's character. 48 Stephen Dalton of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that she radiates more kick-ass charisma than her thankless sidekick role might suggest. 49. De Armas in 2018. In 2018, de Armas starred opposite Demian Bichir in John Hillcoat's medical drama Corazon. She played a Dominican woman with congestive heart failure in the short film, funded by Montefiore Medical Center to raise awareness of organ donation. 50 While de Armas's scenes opposite Himesh Patel in the 2019 romantic comedy Yesterday were included in the film's trailer, they were cut from the final product. The director Danny Boyle said that, while de Armas was really radiant in her scenes, the introduction of a love triangle subplot did not test well with audiences. 51. De Armas's role as an immigrant nurse in the ensemble murder mystery film Knives Out, 2019, written and directed by Ryan Johnson, was widely praised and marked a breakthrough for the actress. 52 When first approached about the project, she was unenthusiastic about the idea of playing a stereotypical Latina caregiver, but soon realized that her character was so much more than that. 53. Tom Schoen of The Times remarked, "The film's standout performance comes from its least well-known member, the Cuban de Armas, who manages the difficult task of making goodness interesting." 54. Benjamin Lee of The Guardian said her striking performance left a lasting impression. 55. The film was a major box office success. 56. De Armas was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Motion Picture Comedy or Musical. 57, with her also winning the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress and the National Board of Review Award for Best Cast with the Cast. 58. Leading roles and mainstream recognition, 2020, present. De Armas at the San Sebastian International Film Festival in 2022. De Armas starred in 4 films released in the United States in 2020. She had a supporting role in the crime thriller The Informer as the wife of Joel Kinnaman's character. 59. Guy Lodge of Variety found her thin role all the more glaring in the wake of her Knives Out stardom. 60. She appeared as a femme fatale in the noir crime drama The Night Clerk. 61. Brian Tallarico of RoachRebert.com said the film had no idea what to do with her blinding charisma. 62. While Katie Rife of the AV Club remarked that it would be remembered, if at all, as a movie De Armas was way too good for. 63. She starred opposite Wagner Moura in the Netflix biopic Sergio, 2020, as Carolina Larriera, a UN official and the partner of diplomat Sergio Vieira de Mello. John DeFore of The Hollywood Reporter found her magnetic. 64. While Jessica Kiang of Variety said she imbued the part with an intelligence and will that makes her more than just de Mello's romantic foil. 65. De Armas reunited with Moura to play the wife of one of the Cuban Five in Olivier Assayas's Netflix spy thriller Wasp Network. 66. The film was shot on location in Cuba. It was De Armas's first work in her home country since leaving as a teenager. 67. Glenn Kenny of the New York Times found her superb. 68. While Jay Weisberg of Variety described her as a joyous, bewitching presence whose career seems destined for the big time. 69. In 2021, De Armas reunited with Daniel Craig to play a Bond girl in Cary Fukunaga's No Time to Die. 70. 71. Fukunaga wrote the character of a Cuban CIA agent with De Armas in mind. 72. She described the character as bubbly and very irresponsible. 70. In her short appearance in No Time to Die, her character, Paloma, claims to have little training, but proves to be highly skilled while fighting. 73. No Time to Die was a commercial success, grossing $774.2 million worldwide, and earned positive reviews. 74. 75. 76. 77. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian praised De Armas' witty and unworldly turn. 78. De Armas starred in Adrian Lyne's erotic thriller Deep Water, based upon the novel by Patricia Highsmith. She and Ben Affleck play a couple in an open marriage. 79. 80. In 2022, De Armas starred in the Russo brothers' Netflix action thriller The Gray Man. 81. Neither Deep Water nor The Gray Man were particularly successful with critics and audiences. Citation needed. De Armas portrayed Marilyn Monroe, as Norma Jean, in the Netflix biopic Blonde, 2022, based on the biographical fiction novel of the same name by Joyce Carol Oates. 82. Director Andrew Dominic noticed De Armas's performance in Knock Knock 83 and, while she went through a long casting process, Dominic secured the role for her after the first audition. 84. In preparation, De Armas worked with a dialect coach for about 9 months. 85. 83. 86. Read Oates' novel and also said she studied hundreds of photographs, videos, audio recordings, and films to prepare for the role. 87. Despite criticism towards her casting, due to her having a notable Spanish accent, De Armas' performance was praised. Catherine Bray of Empire labeled De Armas' performance as powerful, while Richard Lawson of Vanity Fair remarked that De Armas is fiercely, almost scarily committed to the role, maintaining high and focused energy through every torrent of tears and screams and traumas. 88. 89. 90. She received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress, in addition to nominations for the BAFTA, Golden Globe, and SAG Award in the same category. 91-92 she became the first Cuban to be nominated for the first of these. 93. De Armas at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2024. De Armas next starred with Chris Evans in the Apple TV Plus action comedy film Ghosted, 2023. 94 Benjamin Lee of The Guardian panned the film and the lack of chemistry between De Armas and Evans. 95 She appeared alongside an ensemble cast in Ron Howard's survival thriller Eden, 2024. 96 She then starred in the John Wick spin-off action thriller Ballerina, 2025, in which she portrayed a vengeful assassin. 97. Personal life. De Armas holds triple Cuban, Spanish and American citizenship. 98 She moved to Los Angeles at 26, and resides in Vermont as of 2023. 99 100. De Armas began a relationship with Spanish actor Marc Clotet in mid-2010. They married on the Costa Brava in July 2011. They divorced in early 2013. 101 102 After meeting on the set of Deepwater in late 2019, De Armas dated American actor Ben Affleck from March 2020 to January 2021. 103 104 De Armas received significant criticism, particularly among members of the Cuban diaspora, for reportedly dating Anado Cuesta, the stepson of Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel since November 2024. 105 It was reported in July 2025 that she was dating American actor Tom Cruise after she was spotted attending an Oasis concert with him. Angelica Houston, /Justin/USTN, born July 8, 1951, is an American actress, director, and model. She is best known for playing Morticia Addams in The Addams Family and Addams Family Values, as well as often portraying eccentric and distinctive characters. She has received multiple accolades, including an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award, as well as nominations for 3 British Academy Film Awards and 6 Primetime Emmy Awards. In 2010, she was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 1-2. The daughter of director John Huston and granddaughter of actor Walter Huston, she reluctantly made her big screen debut in her father's A Walk with Love and Death, 1969. Huston moved from London to New York City, where she worked as a model throughout the 1970s. She decided to actively pursue acting in the early 1980s, and subsequently, had her breakthrough with her performance as a mobster Moll in Prizzi's Honor, 1985, also directed by her father, for which she became the third generation of her family to receive an Academy Award, when she won Best Supporting Actress, joining both John and Walter Huston in this recognition. She achieved further critical and popular recognition for playing a mistress in Crimes and Misdemeanors, 1989, a long-vanished wife in Enemies, a love story, 1989, a con artist in The Grifters, 1990, the Grand High Witch in The Witches, 1990, Morticia Addams in the Addams Family Films, 1991-93, and an adventurous writer in Manhattan Murder Mystery, 1993. Huston directed the films Bastard Out of Carolina, 1996, and Agnes Brown, 1999, collaborated with director Wes Anderson in The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, 2004, and The Darjeeling Limited, 2007, and lent her voice to several animated films, mainly the Tinker Bell franchise, 2008-2015. Her other films include The Crossing Guard, 1995, Ever After, 1998, Daddy Daycare, 2003, Choke, 2008, 50/50ths, 2011, and John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019. She has also acted in the miniseries Family Pictures, 1993, Buffalo Girls, 1995, and The Mists of Avalon, 2001, as well as the series Huff, 2006, Medium, 2008 to 2009, and Transparent, 2015 to 2016. She won a Golden Globe for playing Carrie Chapman Cat in the cable film Iron-Jawed Angels, 2004, and a Gracie Award for her portrayal of Eileen Rand in Smash, 2012 to 2013. She has written the memoirs A Story Lately Told, 2013, and Watch Me, 2014. Early life. Houston was born on July 8, 1951, in the Cedars of Lebanon Hospital, in Los Angeles to director and actor John Huston and prima ballerina and model Enrique Soma. For according to Huston, the news of my arrival was cabled promptly to the post office in the township of Butiaba, in western Uganda, and 2 days later, a barefoot runner bearing a telegram finally arrived at Murchison Falls, where her father was filming The African Queen, 1951. 3. Huston's paternal grandfather was Canadian-born actor Walter Huston. Huston has Scottish, Irish, English and Welsh ancestry from her father, and Italian from her mother. 5. When Huston was 2 years old, her family relocated to Ireland, where she spent much of her childhood and which she still considers home. 6. Her parents rented what Huston called the Cour Townhouse, a tall stone Victorian manor in County Kildare, for 3 years, before John Huston bought St. Clarence, a 110-acre estate in County Galway, in 1954. 3. She attended school at Kylemore Abbey 7 and later attended Holland Park School after relocating to England. 8. Huston has a complex family because of her parents' multiple marriages and extramarital affairs. She has an older brother, Tony, and an adopted older brother, Pablo. She has a younger maternal half-sister named Allegra, whom she called Legs, and a younger paternal half-brother, actor Danny Huston. She is the aunt of actor Jack Huston. 9. She once described herself as a lonely child, explaining, "My brother Tony and I were never very close, neither as children nor as adults, but I was tightly bound to him. We were forced to be together because we were really quite alone. We were in the middle of the Irish countryside, and we didn't see many other kids. We were tutored. Our father was mostly away for filming." 3. Career. Screen debut and modeling, 1968 to 1975. Huston with a C. Diane on the set of A Walk with Love and Death, 1969. Her father's film A Walk with Love and Death, 1969, where Huston played the 16-year-old French noblewoman Claudia opposite a C. Diane, marked her screen debut. She had been in the running to play Juliet in director Franco Zeffirelli's adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, 1968, but Huston withdrew herself from consideration when her father decided to cast her as Claudia in A Walk with Love and Death. Huston felt that she was wrong for the role as Claudia, and has commented on the experience that her father miscast me first time out, and I think he realized that. I was ready to act, but I wasn't ready to act for him. I was difficult. I didn't want to act with no makeup, although I'd have done it for Franco. 10. Father and daughter had a fractious relationship on set, with the young Angelica having difficulty learning her lines and focusing, while her father grew more impatient and angry at directing her. 11. Critics derided her performance. Huston and her mother were photographed by Arnaud de Rosnay, whom she met at age 16 in Switzerland in October 1968 for Vogue. 12. Shortly afterwards, her mother died in a car accident, and the young Huston relocated to New York City as she sort of fled London because of the memories. I didn't really know what to do with myself, and I wasn't quite sure what my father's intentions were for me, whether he was going to put me in a convent or launch me as an actress. Well, he'd already tried to do that, and we'd had a hard time on the making of that first film we did together. 12. 13. Inspired by models Jean Shrimpton and Twiggy, Huston decided to pursue modeling, and through photographer Richard Avedon, a friend of her parents, she met Diana Vreeland, who proposed to Huston her first American Vogue photo shoot, which took place in Ireland. 12. She described it as very innovative because they presaged the whole sort of gypsy look. 12. Houston became a frequent subject of Bob Richardson, with whom she lived until 1973. 14 She was signed to Ford Models and in the early 1970s, worked in Europe for a couple of years. 12 She walked the runway for brands such as Sandra Rhodes, Yamamoto, Armani, and Valentino. Along with Pat Cleveland, Pat Ast, Elsa Peretti, Karen Bjornson, and Alva Chin, she became one of fashion designer Halston's favorite troupe of models, nicknamed the Halstonettes. 15-16. Transition to film and breakthrough, 1976 to 1988. After breaking up with Richardson, Houston moved to California to focus on acting. 12 While she didn't do much there for 3 years, she filmed a small role in The Last Tycoon, 1976, based on F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel of the same name and starring then-boyfriend Jack Nicholson. Bob Rafelson's remake The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1981, based on the novel by James M. Cain, featured Houston as the fling of a Depression-era drifter, played by Nicholson. She briefly appeared in the drama Francis, 1982, and the mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, 1984, before obtaining a larger role in the science fiction film The Ice Pirates, 1984. Her father cast Houston as Morose, the daughter of a New York mafia clan head whose love is scorned by a hitman, in the film adaptation Prizzi's Honor, 1985, which also starred Nicholson. She was paid the SAG scale rate of $14,000 for her role. When her agent called up the movie's producer to request if she could be paid more, she was told, "Go to hell. Be my guest, ask for more money. We don't even want her in this movie." Houston, who was not only John Huston's daughter but also Jack Nicholson's girlfriend at the time, wrote in her 2014 memoir Watch Me that she later overheard a production worker saying, "Her father is the director, her boyfriend's the star, and she has no talent." 17. Nevertheless, Houston garnered positive notices for her performance. The New York Times described her part as a wonderful character, far darker and more complex than is indicated by her self-deprecating wisecracks, "I'm a family scandal. I got a reputation to keep up." She's a riveting presence, and if Miss Houston, the daughter of the director, doesn't get an Oscar nomination for this performance, I'll be very surprised. 18. Indeed, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, making her the third generation of her family to win an Oscar. Houston starred opposite Michael Jackson in the 17-minute $30 million 3D film Captain EO, written by George Lucas and directed by Francis Ford Coppola, which ran from 1986 at Disneyland and Epcot, and later at Tokyo Disneyland and Euro Disneyland. 19 Coppola next cast her as the girlfriend of an army platoon sergeant in Gardens of Stone, 1987, a film that dealt with the effect of the Vietnam War on the United States home front. 20 Film critic Roger Ebert praised her on-screen chemistry with co-star James Caan, remarking that the romance between Caan and Houston is one of the great adult love stories in recent movies. 21. Houston starred in her father's last film, 1987's The Dead, as the wife of an academic. According to her, her father remained a filmmaking virtuoso despite his ill health. He was so sick, but he could literally do it with his eyes closed. He knew when we were going to get a takeaway long before the camera rolled. I mean, the timing was so precise that he could tell everything, exactly how it was going to go. 10. The pressures of filming and watching her father's health deteriorate had an adverse effect on Angelica Houston's own health, developing Epstein-Barr syndrome during production. 10 John died nearly 4 months before the film's release date, upon which it received 2 nominations at the 60th Academy Awards. For her performance, she won as Best Supporting Female at the 3rd Independent Spirit Awards. In 1988, Houston played the love interest of an engaging, multi-talented, middle-class Yale University graduate in Mr. North, which was more of a family project, directed by half-brother Danny Houston, and made a cameo appearance in the film adaptation A Handful of Dust. Despite her limited screen time, Vincent Canby of the New York Times praised her portrayal in the latter as the single most stunning performance, but called the film both too literal and devoid of real point. 22. Critical and popular recognition, 1989 to 1995. Houston earned a BAFTA nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal of a flight attendant having an affair with a respected family guy in Woody Allen's dramedy Crimes and Misdemeanors, 1989. The drama Enemies, a love story, also released in 1989, featured her as the long-vanished wife of a Holocaust survivor. In a positive review for the film, Roger Ebert asserted, "Parts, especially the scenes with Houston, are heartwarming in a strange way, because they show one human being accepting the weaknesses of another." 23. For her role, she received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. In The Witches, 1990, based on the 1983 book of the same name by Roald Dahl, Houston starred as the Grand High Witch, the all-powerful leader of the world's witches, shared the cast with Maya Zetterling and Rowan Atkinson. She and the costume designer Merritt Allen originally brought a different dress for the role, but the director Nicholas Roeg rejected it as not sexy. Houston recalled, "That was the first time I'd imagined that this horrible creature in a children's movie should have sex appeal. It simply had not occurred to me." But of course, Nick was absolutely right. His vision was diabolical and dark and brilliantly funny. If a witch was to be at the center of this plot, she needed to be sexy to hold the eye. 24. The character's monstrous version was prepared by Jim Henson's Creature Shop and took over 6 hours to apply and almost as much time to remove at the end of the day. 24. Despite a lackluster box office response, the film was applauded by critics and has obtained a cult following over the years. It has also remained one of Houston's favorite roles. 25. Houston presenting Jane Campion with the Grand Jury Prize at the 47th Venice International Film Festival. Houston next portrayed a veteran con artist in the neo-noir thriller The Grifters, also 1990. Director Stephen Frears first contacted her about playing Lily in 1989 while she was filming Crimes and Misdemeanors, but after reading the script, she was unsure. 26. Although she was transfixed by the story and the character, the script alarmed her with its explicitness. 27. A few months later, Frears contacted Houston again to see if she was still interested. 26. Still wavering, Houston's talent agent Sue Mengers told her bluntly, "Angelica, if Stephen Frears tells you he wants you to shit in the corner, then that's what you must do." The next day Houston auditioned for the role in front of Frears at the Chateau Marmont. Frears' initial reluctance to cast Houston because she looked too much like a lady, was resolved with the decision to cheapen her look with a bleached blonde wig and vulgar clothes. To research her part, she studied women dealers at card parlors in Los Angeles County, California. 26. Her performance earned her a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Houston obtained the part of Morticia Addams, the stern, aloof matriarch of the titular family, in The Addams Family, 1991. She based aspects of her performance on her friend Jerry Hall to give the character more warmth, and in her 2014 memoir Watch Me, she described the filming as long and arduous. 28. It was decided that the character of Morticia should have eyes which slanted upwards at the sides, an effect which was achieved by attaching an elastic strap to the back of Houston's head via fabric tabs glued at her temples, which pulled the corners of her eyes upwards. 27. The bands caused extended discomfort to Houston, and would snap at the slightest turn of Houston's head, causing a grueling repair time. Eventually, she learned to pivot and turn on her feet without moving her upper body or head. 27. The Addams Family was a commercial success, grossing over $191 million worldwide. 29. And prompted a sequel, Addams Family Values, 1993. For both installments, Houston garnered Golden Globe Award nominations for Best Actress, Motion Picture Comedy or Musical. 30. Following a small role in the satire The Player, 1992, Houston reunited with Woody Allen on Manhattan Murder Mystery, in which she played the friend of a married couple investigating the death of their neighbor's wife, and also portrayed a mother struggling to parent her autistic child, in the ABC miniseries Family Pictures. She received a BAFTA nomination for Best Supporting Actress for Manhattan Murder Mystery, and a nomination for Best Actress, Miniseries or Television Film at the 51st Golden Globe Awards for Family Pictures. In 1995, Houston portrayed a Cuban refuge attempting to stay in America in the comedy The Perez Family and the former wife of a tormented man, played by Jack Nicholson, in Sean Penn's sophomore directorial effort, the drama The Crossing Guard. Her performance in the latter was praised 31 and she received nominations for Best Supporting Actress from the Hollywood Foreign Press and the Screen Actors Guild. Based on the 1990 novel of the same name 32, the CBS miniseries Buffalo Girls, in which she starred as frontierswoman Calamity Jane, opposite Melanie Griffith and Reba McEntire, earned Houston an Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Miniseries or Movie. Directing, 1996 to 2000. After contemplating the idea of following in her father's footsteps, Houston started to put out discreet feelers and pursue material in Hollywood she felt attracted to direct. The studio's overall response was swift and positive, with the usual blinders, according to Houston. What they offered me had invariably something to do with my father. I didn't want to do a sequel to Prizzy's Honor. Prizzy belongs to him. I wanted to do something that, succeed or fail, would be my own. 33. She found it in the drama Bastard Out of Carolina, based on a novel by Dorothy Allison, about an impoverished girl who endures physical and sexual abuse. It was screened in the Uncertain Regard section at the 1996 Cannes Film Festival 34 and debuted as a television film on Showtime. She was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Directing for a Miniseries or a Special. In Ever After, A Cinderella Story, 1998, a modern, post-feminist interpretation of the Cinderella story 35 alongside Drew Barrymore and Melanie Lynskey, Houston appeared as Baroness Rodmilla de Ghent, the new wife of Augusta de Barbarac, a wealthy widower. The film was acclaimed by critics and made a respectable $98 million globally. 36. Lisa Schwartzbaum from Entertainment Weekly praised her performance as a cruel stepmother. Houston does a lot of eye-narrowing and eyebrow-raising while toddling around in an extraordinary selection of extreme headgear, accompanied by her two less-than-self-actualized daughters, the snooty, social climbing, nasty Marguerite, and the dim, lumpy, secretly nice Jacqueline. Nothing is final until you're dead, Mama instructs her girls at the dinner table, and even then I'm sure God negotiates. Houston in 2000. In 1998, Houston played a woman romantically involved with a compulsive gambler in the neo-noir Phoenix 37 with Ray Liotta, as well as the mother of a troubled man in Vincent Gallo's independent dramedy Buffalo 66, which starred Gallo as her son and reunited her with Christina Ricci. The director had difficulties working with his cast and crew, and reportedly did not get along with Houston on set. He claimed she caused the film to be turned down by the Cannes Film Festival. 38. Her next directorial effort, the Irish dramedy Agnes Brown, 1999, in which she also starred as the title character, released to mixed reviews. The New York Times reviewer Stephen Holden found it nothing more than a series of homey skits loosely woven into a portrait of a working-class saint. 39. Nevertheless, the film won the Youth Jury Award at the 1999 San Sebastian International Film Festival and received a Grand Prix nomination at the Ghent International Film Festival the same year. Citation needed. Houston appeared as an affluent English woman, alongside James Fox, Nick Nolte, Kate Beckinsale, and Uma Thurman, in James Ivory's period drama The Golden Bowl, 2000, based on the 1904 novel of the same name by Henry James. 40. Films with Wes Anderson, 2001 to 2007. In The Royal Tenenbaums, 2001, her first collaboration with director Wes Anderson, Houston took on the role of the soft-spoken matriarch of an estranged family of former child prodigies, alongside Gene Hackman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ben Stiller and Luke Wilson. During production, Anderson gave Huston photographs of his mother who, like Etheline, was an archaeologist. Huston said, Wes would send pictures of his mother in aviator jackets or on archaeological digs, and he very specifically wanted me to wear a certain locket. Finally, I asked him, Wes, am I playing your mother? Anderson replied this was not the case. Anderson and Huston had a tense relationship with Hackman, who was not always amiable on set. 41 On the first day Hackman and Huston appeared in a scene together, Huston had to slap him, and later said the slap was real and I hit him a really good one. I saw the imprint of my hand on his cheek and I thought, he's going to kill me. 41. During young Margot's birthday scene in the opening scenes, Huston's hair caught fire from a birthday candle. Anderson credited Kumar Pallana with extinguishing the blaze before Huston was seriously injured. 41 A positive critical response greeted The Royal Tenenbaums, which made $71.4 million worldwide. 42. In 2001, Huston starred as Vivian, Lady of the Lake, in the TNT miniseries The Mists of Avalon, based on the 1983 novel of the same title by Marion Zimmer Bradley. The production was watched by more than 30 million unduplicated viewers during its premiere, making it the highest-rated original movie of the summer on basic cable, and earned Huston nominations for a Primetime Emmy Award and a Screen Actors Guild Award. In 2002, she portrayed the doctor of an ex-FBI agent, Clint Eastwood, chasing a sadistic killer, Jeff Daniels, in the thriller Blood Work, loosely based on the 1998 novel of the same name by Michael Connelly. 43 As well as the longtime client of a man who runs an exclusive escort service in George Hickenlooper's black comedy The Man from Elysian Fields, with Andy Garcia and Mick Jagger. Despite both films' lukewarm critical and commercial responses, Todd McCarthy of Variety felt that her character in Elysian Fields was played with invigorating relish by the actress. 44 While Roger Ebert hailed the film as one of the best films of the year. 45. Daddy Daycare, 2003, co-starring Eddie Murphy, featured Huston as the ruthless head of an expensive and over-academic preschool. Slant, in a critical review of the film, noted that Huston brings embarrassing conviction to the role of stuffy daycare proprietress. Daddy Daycare seems to exist solely to sedate a theater-going public's offspring. And while the film's sense of sobriety should do the job, don't expect the witches. 46 Nevertheless, the release was a commercial success, grossing over $160 million worldwide. 47. In 2004, Huston took on the role of women's suffrage leader Carrie Chapman Catt in the HBO film Iron-Jawed Angels, with Hilary Swank, Frances O'Connor, and Julia Ormond. For her role, she received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited Series or Movie, and won the Golden Globe and the Satellite Award for Best Supporting Actress, Series, Miniseries, or Television Film. In The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, 2004, her second film with Wes Anderson, Huston portrayed the estranged wife of an eccentric oceanographer. Roger Ebert observed that the actress seems privately amused, which is so much more intriguing than seeming publicly amused, but noted that he can't recommend the film, but I would not for 1 second discourage you from seeing it. 48 As a member of the cast, she garnered nominations for Best Ensemble from the Boston Society of Film Critics and the Critics' Choice Movie Awards. Huston filmed her third directorial effort, the Hallmark Channel drama Riding the Bus with My Sister, 2005, in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. 49 It was adapted from the 2002 memoir by Rachel Simon, and starred Rosie O'Donnell and Andie MacDowell. Unlike the book, the film received negative reviews from critics, who generally criticized the film's egregious portrayal of Down syndrome. 50 However, she said, I think the movie comes from a pretty direct point of view. 51. In 2006, Huston was featured as an art teacher in the Dramedy Art School Confidential, the President of the United States in the made-for-CBS thriller Covered One, The Hades Factor, a competing business owner in the comedy Material Girls, a vanishing con artist in the revisionist western Seraphim Falls, and an ebullient patroness in the romantic drama These Foolish Things. Excluding Seraphim Falls, none of the aforementioned films performed well with critics nor audiences. 52. This changed with her third Wes Anderson film, The Darjeeling Limited, 2007, in which Houston starred as the mother of three brothers who becomes a nun and moves to a Christian convent in the Himalayas. Peter Travers, for Rolling Stone, found her to be a dynamite in the film, which he deemed the fullest blossoming yet of Anderson's talents as a total filmmaker. 53. Voiceover and television roles, 2008 to 2016. Choke, 2008, a black comedy directed by Clark Gregg and based on the 2001 novel of the same name by Chuck Palahniuk, featured Houston as the hospitalized mother of a sex addict in colonial America. Reviews for the film were mixed, but Empire critic Philip Wilding wrote, "Houston is magnetic as the ailing mother Ida, both as a fading invalid or vibrant and deranged in flashback. She is the hook on which her son hangs his hopes and anxieties." Meanwhile, Roger Ebert felt that her role resembled the criminal character she played in The Grifters, 1990. 54. In 2008, Houston also voiced Queen Clarion in Tinker Bell, which was released on DVD to outstanding commercial results. 55. She reprised the role in 4 sequels, a television special and a short film, all released between 2009 and 2015. 56. Houston at the 2010 Metropolitan Opera opening of Das Rheingold. Houston took on significant roles in 3 2011 live-action films. The first was that of Miss Battleaxe, a strict, sadistic schoolteacher who talks with a Scottish accent, in the 3D children's musical adventure comedy Horrid Henry, the movie, directed by Nick Moore. She found her character to be irresistible, explaining to The Guardian, "It's very British material to me, and I've always been strangely attracted to these extreme characters." 57. The film was panned by critics but was a commercial success in the UK. 58. Her second performance of 2011 was that of a mother of a man with a malignant cancerous tumor in the drama 50/50ths, directed by Jonathan Levine and co-starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. The film was a critical and commercial darling upon its release. 59. David Schmader, writing in The Stranger, praised the stellar cast and felt that Houston roars back to prominence with a twisty performance as Adam's barely contained mess of a mom. 60. The unsuccessful The Big Year, Houston's last live-action film of 2011, featured her as an avid birder, who captains ocean-going expeditions. 61. Houston starred in the NBC television series Smash, 2012 to 2013, as Broadway producer Eileen Rand. 62. After her husband's death in 2008, Houston credited Smash her first regular venture into series television, with coming at a vital time and finally filling a void in her life. 63. The series aired for 2 seasons and was the subject of critical acclaim. 64. Houston subsequently appeared in the 2nd and 3rd seasons of the Amazon video series Transparent, as Vic, a cisgender woman who forms a connection with Maura, a retired college professor of political science at UCLA. In the horror comedy The Cleanse, 2016, Houston played the director of a secretive self-help program, alongside Johnny Galecki, Anna Friel, and Oliver Platt. Recent works, 2017, present. Houston in 2014. In 2017, Houston narrated the black comedy Thirst Street, and starred with Bill Pullman as siblings feuding over possession of their father's estate in the comedy Trouble. John DeFore of The Hollywood Reporter praised the latter film, on which Houston was an executive producer, writing that the cast goes a long way here, turning Trouble at times into the kind of small-town hangout film that will please fest audits. 65. Houston played the director, a heavily bejeweled Russian ballet instructor, and what Vulture described as a small but memorable role, in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019, 10 which made $326 million worldwide and received positive reviews from critics. 66 She reprised her role as the director in Ballerina. On June 5, 2024, it was announced that Houston had been cast as the lead in the BBC Agatha Christie limited series, Towards Zero. 67 On September 6, 2024, it was announced that Houston was cast in the lead of the live-action/hybrid feature The Christmas Witch Trial of La Befana. 68 Houston is set to star alongside her brother, Danny Houston, in this film inspired by Italian folklore. 69. Personal life. Houston was a close friend of actor Gregory Peck, whom her father directed in Moby Dick, 1956. The two first met on the set of the film when she was 4 years old while Peck was in costume as Captain Ahab. Decades later, after her father's death, Houston reunited with Peck and maintained a friendship that lasted until his death. 70-71. Houston was an inadvertent witness in the Roman Polanski sexual abuse case in March 1977, when she encountered Polanski and his 13-year-old victim by chance in the home of her boyfriend Jack Nicholson. 72 When authorities searched the house in connection to the accusations against Polanski, Houston was arrested for cocaine possession, but she was never charged because the search and seizure of her handbag had been illegal. 73 Although she had witnessed no abuse, Houston was subsequently embroiled in the publicity surrounding Polanski's trial as a rumored witness for the prosecution, though she was not ultimately called. 74. Relationships. In 1969, at age 17, Houston began dating photographer Bob Richardson, then 41. They lived together from that year until March 1973. 75 A month later, she met Jack Nicholson at his 36th birthday party, and the pair started an on-again, off-again relationship. 76 That lasted until 1990, when the media reported he had fathered a child with Rebecca Broussard. 75 During a break from Nicholson in the late 1970s, Houston was involved with Ryan O'Neal, who allegedly assaulted her. 77. On May 23, 1992, Houston married sculptor Robert Graham, following a courtship of almost 2 years. The couple lived in a 3-story 78 house, designed by Graham in Venice, California, until his death on December 27, 2008. She does not have any children, but stated in a Lifetime intimate portrait that she had tried to have a baby on several occasions. 79. In her memoirs, Houston confirmed romances with James Fox, David Bailey, and Prince Albert of Monaco. 1124 She also acknowledged an affair during the shooting of Ever After, A Cinderella Story, 1998, with a married man known simply as Dolan in the book. 24. In a 2013 interview with Larry King, Houston said she did not have a lover and was not looking for one. 80. Health. In April 2025, Houston revealed that she was diagnosed with cancer in 2019 and was now 4 years cancer-free. 81. Activism. Houston in 2005. Houston led a letter campaign organized by the U.S. Campaign for Burma and Human Rights Action Center in November 2007. The letter, signed by over 25 high-profile individuals from the entertainment business, was addressed to the United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon and urged him to personally intervene to secure the release of Nobel Peace Prize recipient Aung San Suu Kyi of Burma. 82 Houston currently sits on the Advisory Council of Save the Chimps, the largest chimpanzee sanctuary and rescue in history. Houston has narrated the educational video Save the Chimps History, exposing the cruelty of chimpanzee abuse by laboratories, entertainment, and NASA's Primates in Space program, which sent primates into space, often resulting in death by impact and explosion. In 1995, Houston donated $500 to the Irish Republican political party Sinn Féin. She has also attended Sinn Féin events and supported Martin McGuinness in his bid for the presidency of Ireland in 2011. 83. In December 2012, Houston recorded a public service announcement for PETA urging her colleagues in Hollywood to refrain from using great apes in television, films, and advertisements. 84 The animal rights organization subsequently named her their Person of the Year 2012. 85 In 2018, she donated her fur coats to the homeless and animal shelters. 86 She was the executive producer for Breaking the Chain, a 2020 documentary about the PETA field workers who try to help neglected animals. 87 In August 2024, Houston wrote an open letter to Evelyn Welch, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Bristol, calling on Welch to end forced swim tests on rats and mice in labs at the university's research departments. Lance Solomon Reddick, June 7, 1962 to March 17, 2023, 1-2 was an American actor. He portrayed Cedric Daniels in The Wire, 2002 to 2008, Philip Broyles in Fringe, 2008 to 2013, and Chief Irvin Irving in Bosch, 2014 to 2020. In film, he played Karen in the John Wick franchise, 2014 to 2025, and General Caulfield in White House Down, 2013. He also portrayed Detective Johnny Basil in the fourth season of Oz, Matthew Abaddon in Lost, 2004 to 2010, Albert Wesker and his clones in the Netflix series Resident Evil, 2022, and Zeus in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, 2024, the latter of which was released posthumously and earned him a Children's and Family Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Performer nomination. He provided the voice and likeness for video game characters Martin Hatch in Quantum Break, Sylens in Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, and Commander Zavala in the Destiny franchise. Early life. Lance Solomon Reddick was born on June 7, 1962, in Baltimore, Maryland. 3 The son of Dorothy G. and Solomon Reddick. 4-5 He attended Friends School of Baltimore. As a teenager, he studied music at the Peabody Institute, and studied music theory and composition during a summer program at the Walden School. 6 Reddick studied classical music composition at University of Rochester's Eastman School of Music, earning a Bachelor of Music degree. He moved to Boston, Massachusetts, in the 1980s. Reddick attended the Yale School of Drama in the early 1990s, receiving a Master of Fine Arts degree in 1994. 7. Career. Reddick in 2008. Reddick was cast as Cedric Daniels in the HBO series The Wire, having also auditioned for the roles of Bubbles and Bunk Moreland. 8-9 He joined ABC's series Lost in 2008. 10-11 where he played Matthew Abaddon, an employee of Charles Widmore, in multiple episodes. 10 He was the third of 5 actors from the HBO series Oz to star in the drama. Producers Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse considered Reddick for the role of Mr. Eco, but he was busy filming The Wire. 10. Reddick released his debut album Contemplations and Remembrances in 2007, and in early 2008, he was cast in a key role in the pilot of Fringe 12 in which his fellow Oz actor Kirk Acevedo also had a regular role. Reddick played Philip Broyles, the head of an FBI department investigating paranormal activities. Reddick described this character as a real hard ass, but he's also one of the good guys. 13. Like Lost, Fringe was co-created and produced by J.J. Abrams. There was some doubt about whether Reddick could appear in both Lost and Fringe in the 2008 to 2009 television season. However, Abrams stated that, even though Reddick was a series regular on Fringe, he would do episodes of Lost whenever required. 14 Reddick appeared in the 2013 thriller White House Down. 15 He starred in the YouTube web series DR0NE, where he was also credited as a co-producer. 16. Reddick in July 2012. In 2014, Reddick appeared as Karen in the action thriller film John Wick, a role he reprised in its 3 sequels. 17 In July 2021, it was confirmed that Reddick would reprise his role in John Wick, Chapter 4. 18. He voiced the character Commander Zavala in the 2014 and 2017 video games Destiny and Destiny 2, respectively. 19. Also in 2014, he started portraying Chief Irvin Irving in the Amazon Prime series Bosch. 20. Comparing his three large roles as police commanders, Reddick said that Daniels, his character from The Wire, is a cop at heart, while Broyles, his fringe character, is a soldier, and Irving is the quintessential politician. 21. Reddick was a spokesman in television commercials for Cree LED bulbs. 22. In 2016, Reddick was cast in the post-apocalyptic horror film The Domestics. 23. The film was released on June 28, 2018. 24. Reddick later starred in the 2018 horror thriller film Monster Party. 25. He also voiced the character Silence in the 2017 video game Horizon Zero Dawn. 26. And reprised the role in the sequel Horizon Forbidden West. 27. In 2021, Reddick appeared in the film Godzilla vs. Kong. 28. In 2022, Reddick portrayed Albert Wesker and his clones Al, Bert, and Albie Wesker in the live-action Resident Evil Netflix series. 29. 30. He also provided the voice of Hellboy in the video game Hellboy Web of Wyrd. The game was released following his death. 31. He appeared posthumously as the Greek god Zeus in the series Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Disney Plus adaptation of the book series of the same name. 32. The role of Zeus for the second season was later recast to Courtney B. Vance. 33. Death. Reddick in March 2023, shortly before his death. Reddick died suddenly on March 17, 2023, aged 60, at his home in Studio City, Los Angeles, from what the coroner deemed to be coronary artery disease and atherosclerotic heart disease. A 2:35, 36, 37 tributes were paid by colleagues and friends, including Reddick's The Wire co-stars Wendell Pierce and Isaiah Whitlock Jr., as well as creator David Simon. 38. Reddick's John Wick co-stars Keanu Reeves and Ian McShane also paid tribute to him. 39. As did his Horizon co-star Ashley Birch and others from the video game industry. 40. Thousands of players in the games Destiny and Destiny 2 visited Reddick's character, Commander Zavala, standing vigil, or using in-game emotes to salute him. 41. Reddick's family asked fans to give to MOM Cares, a Baltimore nonprofit supporting underserved mothers with babies in neonatal intensive care. The organization received $12,000 in donations the day after his death, the most it has received in a single day. 42-43. Legacy. In January 2024, the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films announced that it had established the Lance Reddick Legacy Award for the Saturn Awards ceremony in honor of Reddick's contributions to the film industry. For the recipient, the award symbolizes and celebrates not only a performer's talent, but their character, someone who's a true goodwill ambassador in the industry. The first inaugural winner of the award, given at the 51st Saturn Awards, was Reddick's John Wick, Chapter 4 co-star, Keanu Reeves. 44. The first season finale of the Disney Plus TV series Percy Jackson and the Olympians was dedicated to Reddick's memory. He played the character Zeus in one of his final posthumously released television roles. Show co-creator Rick Riordan remarked on working with Reddick, "He had a marvelous and quirky sense of humor. He was thoughtful, caring and piercingly perceptive." He stated that he hoped Reddick's scenes would remind us of how much brilliance we have lost. Catalina Sandino Moreno, born April 19, 1981, is a Colombian actress, most notable for receiving a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress, as well as sharing the Silver Bear with Charlize Theron, for her performance as lead role in Maria Full of Grace, 2004. Other credits include Fast Food Nation, 2006, Love in the Time of Cholera, 2007, Che, 2008, The Twilight Saga, Eclipse, 2010, ROA, 2013, A Most Violent Year, 2014, Falling Skies, 2014, American Gothic, 2016, Custody, 2016, The Affair, 2015 to 2019, The Quarry, 2020, Barbarians, 2021, Prom, 2022, Silent Night, 2023, and Ballerina, 2025. Early life. Catalina Sandino Moreno was born April 19, 1981 in Bogotá, Colombia. She grew up in a middle-class family. Her father is a veterinarian and her mother a pathologist. She attended an English-taught school to St. George's School in Bogotá, Colombia. Before becoming an actress, she studied advertising. 1. Career. 2004 to 2010. In 2004, Sandino Moreno landed a main role in the film Maria Full of Grace 1, where she was among 800 other girls casting for the lead role as Maria Alvarez, a Colombian girl who works in a flower plantation when she was pregnant and then as a drug mule. For her performance in the film, she received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress at the 77th Academy Awards. 3. Also, she won the Silver Bear for Best Actress at Berlin International Film Festival, shared with Charlize Theron for Monster. 1. After the impact of her Oscar nomination, Sandino Moreno waited 3 years for a role that appealed to her. 4. She elaborated in an interview with V magazine that she felt a responsibility, as an actress, Colombian immigrant, and as a person, to perform reality, so that people learn, believing it was important to show people what is happening in the world. 4. In 2005, Sandino Moreno moved to New York City to study dramatic arts and to continue with her success career at the moment, and was invited to join AMPAS. In 2006, she played roles in independent film Fast Food Nation 5 with Patricia Arquette, and Paris, Jet, where she starred as Anna, a young immigrant mother in the segment Loin du 16. 5. In 2007, she starred as Hildebranda Sanchez in Love in the Time of Cholera 5, based in novel of the same name by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, where she appeared alongside Javier Bardem and Fernanda Montenegro. In 2008, she appeared alongside Benicio del Toro in Steven Soderbergh's Che 5, playing the role of Aleta March de Guevara, the second wife of Escobedo Che Guevara, and attended the premiere at the 2008 Cannes Film Festival. In 2010, she played the role of female vampire Maria in the Stephenie Meyer-based The Twilight Saga, Eclipse. 5. Sandino Moreno at the 61st Cannes Film Festival in 2008. 2010, present. After a break in her career, in November 2013, Sandino Moreno was announced to play the title role in the biopic Castro's Daughter, based on Elena Fernandez's autobiography of the same name, though the film was not produced. 2. She starred in films ROA, 2013, 5 and appeared alongside Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain in A Most Violent Year, 2014. 5. On October 20, 2014, it was announced that she would be joining the 5th and final season of Falling Skies in a recurring role as Isabella. 6. In 2016, Sandino Moreno starred in the TV series American Gothic as a recurring character, Cristina Morales. 5. In the same year, she returned to the world of cinema in the movie Custody, 2016, 7 alongside Viola Davis. The film was premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. 7. In December 2022, Sandino Moreno was announced to join the John Wick spin-off film Ballerina as Lena Macarro. 8. In 2023, she played Saya Godluck in the John Woo action thriller Silent Night. 9. Personal life. Sandino Moreno was one of People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful Women in 2005. 10. Sandino Moreno met motion picture electrician David Elwell while working on Maria Full of Grace. The couple married on April 15, 2006 in a small ceremony held in Cartagena de Indias. Keanu Charles Reeves, /Keanu/Keanu 07 born September 2, 1964, is a Canadian C actor and musician. The recipient of numerous accolades in a career on screen spanning 4 decades, he is known for his leading roles in action films, his amiable public image, and his philanthropic efforts. In 2020, the New York Times ranked him as the 4th greatest actor of the 21st century, and in 2022 Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Born in Beirut and raised in Toronto, Reeves made his acting debut in the Canadian television series Hanjin in 1984, before making his feature film debut in Young Blood, 1986. He had his breakthrough role in the science fiction comedies Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, 1991. He gained praise for playing a hustler in the independent drama My Own Private Idaho, 1991, and established himself as an action hero with leading roles in Point Break, 1991, and Speed, 1994. Following several box office disappointments, Reeves's performance in the horror film The Devil's Advocate, 1997, was well received. Greater stardom came with his role as Neo in The Matrix, 1999. Reeves became the highest paid actor for a single production for reprising the role in its 2003 sequels Reloaded and Revolutions. He also played John Constantine in Constantine, 2005. Reeves made his film directorial debut with Man of Tai Chi, 2013. Following a period in which he enjoyed limited commercial success, he made a career comeback by playing the titular assassin in the action film series John Wick, 2014, present. Reeves voiced Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4, 2019, and portrayed Johnny Silverhand in the video game Cyberpunk 2077, 2020, as well as its expansion. He has since reprised his roles of Ted in Bill and Ted Face the Music, 2020, and Neo in The Matrix, Resurrections, 2021, and voiced Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 2024. In addition to acting, Reeves is a member of the musical band Dogstar, releasing albums including Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, 2023. He is the co-writer and creator of the BRZRKR franchise, which started with the original comic book, 2021 to 2023, and since expanded to include numerous spin-offs, including the Book of Elsewhere, 2024. An avid motorcyclist, Reeves is the co-founder of the custom manufacturer Arch Motorcycle. He also co-founded the production company Company Films. Early life. Keanu Charles Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon, on September 2, 1964, the son of Patricia, née Taylor, a costume designer and performer, and Samuel Nowlin Reeves Jr. His mother is English, originating from Essex. His American father is from Hawaii, and is of native Hawaiian, Chinese, English, and Portuguese descent. 11-5-12 Reeves's paternal grandmother is of Hawaiian and Chinese descent. 13 His mother was working in Beirut when she met his father. 14 Who abandoned his wife and family when Reeves was 3 years old. Reeves last met his father on the Hawaiian island of Kauai when he was 13. 15. After his parents divorced in 1966, his mother moved the family to Sydney, Australia 15-16 and then to New York City, where she married Paul Aaron, a Broadway and Hollywood director, in 1970. 15 The couple moved to Toronto and divorced in 1971. When Reeves was 9, he took part in a theater production of Damn Yankees. 17 Aaron remained close to Reeves, offering him advice and recommending him a job at the Hedgerow Theatre in Pennsylvania. 15 Reeves's mother married Robert Miller, a rock music promoter, in 1976, the couple divorced in 1980. Reeves and his sisters grew up primarily in the Yorkville neighborhood of Toronto, with a nanny frequently caring for them. 15-18 Reeves watched British comedy shows such as The Two Ronnies, and his mother imparted English manners that he has maintained into adulthood. 19 Because of his grandmother's Chinese ethnicity, Reeves grew up with Chinese art, furniture, and cuisine. 20. Describing himself as a private kid, 21, Reeves attended 4 different high schools, including the Etobicoke School of the Arts, from which he was expelled. Reeves said he was expelled because he was just a little too rambunctious and shot my mouth off once too often. I was not generally the most well-oiled machine in the school. 22, Reeves has dyslexia and has said, because I had trouble reading, I wasn't a good student. 23, at De La Salle College, he was a successful ice hockey goalkeeper. Reeves had aspirations to play for the Canadian Olympic team and was once considered an old prospect, but his hockey career ended due to injury. 24, at the age of 15, he decided he wanted to become an actor. 25, after leaving De La Salle College, he attended Avondale Secondary Alternative School, which allowed him to get an education while working as an actor. Reeves dropped out of high school when he was 17. 26, he obtained a green card through his American stepfather and moved to Los Angeles 3 years later. 15, Reeves holds only Canadian citizenship. 8-9. Career. Main article, Keanu Reeves filmography. 1984 to 1990, early work. Reeves in 1986. In 1984, Reeves was a correspondent for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, youth television program Going Great. 27, that same year, he made his acting debut in an episode of the television series, called Hanjin In. 28, in 1985, he played Mercutio in a stage production of Romeo and Juliet at the Leopoldlands Theatre in North York, Ontario. 29-30, he made further appearances on stage, including Brad Fraser's cult hit Wolfboy in Toronto. He also appeared in a Coca-Cola commercial in 1983-31, and in the National Film Board of Canada, NFB, Coming of Age, short film One Step Away. 32, Reeves later said that, when he was looking for work in the mid-1980s, his agents advised him to go by a different name because his first name was too ethnic. He briefly initialized his first and middle name and attended auditions as Casey or Casey Reeves before reverting to Keanu. 33. In 1986, Reeves made a foray into television films, including NBC's Babes in Toyland, Act of Vengeance and Brotherhood of Justice. He made his first motion picture appearances in Peter Markle's Young Blood, in which he played a goalkeeper, and in the low-budget romantic drama, Flying. He was cast as Matt in River's Edge, a crime drama about a group of high school friends dealing with a murder case, loosely based on the 1981 murder of Marcy Renee Conrad. The film premiered in 1986 at the Toronto International Film Festival to a largely positive response. Janet Maslin of the New York Times describes the performances of the young cast as natural and credible, with Reeves being described as affecting and sympathetic. 34. In 1988, Reeves starred in several dramas aimed at teen audiences, including as the lead in The Night Before, a comedy starring opposite Lori Loughlin, The Prince of Pennsylvania and Permanent Record. Although the latter received mixed reviews, Variety magazine praised Reeves's performance, which opens up nicely as the drama progresses. 35. His other acting efforts included a supporting role in Dangerous Liaisons, which earned 7 nominations at the 61st Academy Awards, winning 3, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Production Design. 36. In 1989, Reeves starred in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, in which he portrays a slacker who travels through time with a friend, portrayed by Alex Winter, to assemble historical figures for a school presentation. The film was generally well received by critics and grossed $40.5 million at the worldwide box office. 37. Film review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes gave the film a 79% approval rating with the critical consensus, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are just charming, goofy, and silly enough to make this fluffy time travel adventure work. 38. Reeves then starred in the comedy drama Parenthood directed by Ron Howard. Nick Hilditch of the BBC gave the film 3 out of 5 stars, calling it a feel-good movie with an extensive and entertaining ensemble cast. 39. In 1990, Reeves gave 2 acting performances, He portrayed an incompetent hitman in the black comedy I Love You to Death, and played Martin, a radio station employee in the comedy Tune In Tomorrow. He also appeared in Paula Abdul's music video for Rush Rush, which featured A Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, motif, with him in the James Dean role. 40. 1991 to 1994, breakthrough with mature roles. In 1991, Reeves starred in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, a sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, with his co-star Winter. Michael Wilmington of the Los Angeles Times wrote that the sequel was more imaginative, more opulent, wilder, and freer, more excitingly visualized, praising the actors for their fuller performances. 41 Film critic Roger Ebert thought it was a riot of visual invention and weird humor that works on its chosen submoronic level. It's the kind of movie where you start out snickering in spite of yourself, and end up actually admiring the originality that went into creating this hallucinatory slapstick. 42 The rest of 1991 marked a significant transition for Reeves's career as he undertook adult roles. Co-starring with River Phoenix as a street hustler in the adventure My Own Private Idaho, the characters embark on a journey of personal discovery. The story was written by Gus Van Sant, and is loosely based on William Shakespeare's Henry IV, Part 1, Henry IV, Part 2, and Henry V. The film premiered at the 48th Venice International Film Festival 43, followed by a theatrical release in the United States on September 29, 1991. The film earned $6.4 million at the box office. 44 My Own Private Idaho was positively received, with Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly describing the film as a postmodern road movie with a mood of free-floating, trance-like despair, a rich, audacious experience. 45 The New York Times complimented Reeves and Phoenix for their insightful performances. 46. Reeves starred alongside Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, and Gary Busey in the action thriller Point Break, directed by Catherine Bigelow. He plays an undercover FBI agent tasked with investigating the identities of a group of bank robbers. To prepare for the film, Reeves and his co-stars took surfing lessons with professional surfer Dennis Jarvis in Hawaii. Reeves had never surfed before. 47 Upon its release, Point Break was generally well received, and a commercial success, earning $83.5 million at the box office. 48 Reeves's performance was praised by the New York Times for considerable discipline and range, adding, "He moves easily between the buttoned-down demeanor that suits a police procedural story and the loose-jointed manner of his comic roles." 49 Writing for the Washington Post, Hal Hinson called Reeves the perfect choice and praised the surfing scenes, but opined that the filmmakers have their characters make the most ludicrously illogical choices imaginable. 50 At the 1992 MTV Movie Awards, Reeves won the Most Desirable Male Award. 51. In 1991, Reeves developed an interest in a music career. He formed the alternative rock band Dogstar, consisting of members Robert Mailhouse, Greg Miller, and Brett Domrose. Reeves played the bass guitar. A year later, he played Jonathan Harker in Francis Ford Coppola's gothic horror Bram Stoker's Dracula, based on Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. Starring alongside Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Anthony Hopkins, the film was critically and commercially successful. It grossed $215.8 million worldwide. 52 For his role, Reeves was required to speak with an English accent, which drew some ridicule. Overly posh and entirely ridiculous, Reeves's performance is as painful as it is hilarious, wrote Limara Salt of Virgin Media. 53 In a retrospective interview in 2015, director Coppola said, "Reeves tried so hard, he wanted to do it perfectly, and in trying to do it perfectly it came off as stilted." 54 Bram Stoker's Dracula was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, winning 3 in Best Costume Design, Best Sound Editing and Best Makeup. 55 The film also received 4 nominations at the British Academy Film Awards. 56. In 1993, he had a role in Much Ado About Nothing, based on Shakespeare's play of the same name. The film received positive reviews 57, although Reeves was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Supporting Actor. 58. The New Republic magazine thought his casting was unfortunate because of his amateur performance. 59. In that same year, he starred in 2 more drama films, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues and Little Buddha, both of which garnered a mixed to negative reception. 60-61. The Independent critic gave Little Buddha a mixed review but opined that Reeves's part as a prince was credible. 62. The film also left an impression on Reeves. He later said, "When I played this innocent prince who starts to suspect something when he has the first revelations about old age, sickness, and death, it hit me. That lesson has never left me." 63. In 1994, he starred in the action thriller Speed alongside Sandra Bullock and Dennis Hopper. He plays police officer Jack Traven, who must prevent a bus from exploding by keeping its speed above 50 miles per hour. Speed was the directorial debut of Dutch director Jan de Bont. Several actors were considered for the lead role, but Reeves was chosen because de Bont was impressed with his point-break performance. 64. To look the part, Reeves shaved all his hair off and spent 2 months in the gym to gain muscle mass. During production, Reeves's friend, and his My Own Private Idaho co-star River Phoenix died, resulting in adjustments to the filming schedule to allow him to mourn. 64. Speed was released on June 10 to a critically acclaimed response. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune lauded Reeves, calling him absolutely charismatic, giving a performance juiced with joy as he jumps through elevator shafts, and atop a subway train. 65. David Anson, writing for Newsweek, summarized Speed as, "relentless without being overbearing. This is one likely blockbuster that doesn't feel too big for its britches. It's a friendly juggernaut." 66. The film grossed $350 million from a $30 million budget and won 2 Academy Awards in 1995, Best Sound Editing and Best Sound. 67-68. 1995 to 1998, Career Fluctuations. I do love it, Shakespeare. It's like this kind of code that once you start to inhabit it with breath and sound and feeling and thought, it is the most powerful and consuming and freeing at the same time. Just, literally, elemental in sound, consonants and vowels. What I found out in doing it, Hamlet, was that it brought up for me all the anger that was inside me for my mother. I mean, it surprised me, just what was there, and I hadn't seen that before. Reeves on his Hamlet performance. 69. Reeves's next leading role came in the 1995 cyberpunk action thriller Johnny Mnemonic, directed by artist Robert Longo and based on the 1981 short story by William Gibson. Set in 2021, it is about a man who has a cybernetic brain implant and must deliver a data package before he dies or is killed by the Yakuza. The film received mainly negative reviews and critics felt Reeves was woefully miscast. 70. Roger Ebert opined that the film is one of the great goofy gestures of recent cinema, a movie that doesn't deserve 1 nanosecond of serious analysis but has a kind of idiotic grandeur that makes you almost forgive it. 71. He next appeared in the romantic drama A Walk in the Clouds, which also garnered mixed to negative reviews. 72. Reeves plays a young soldier returning home from World War II, trying to settle down with a woman he married impulsively just before he enlisted. Film critic Mick LaSalle opined that A Walk in the Clouds is for the most part a beautiful, well-acted, and emotionally rich picture, whereas Hal Hinson from the Washington Post said, "The film has the syrupy, Kodak magic moment look of a Bo Derek movie, and pretty much the same level of substance." 73-74. Besides film work, Reeves retreated briefly to the theater playing Prince Hamlet in a 1995 Manitoba Theatre Centre production of Hamlet in Winnipeg, Manitoba. 75. The Sunday Times critic Roger Lewis believed his performance, writing he quite embodied the innocence, the splendid fury, the animal grace of the leaps and bounds, the emotional violence, that form the Prince of Denmark. He is one of the top 3 Hamlets I have seen, for a simple reason, he is Hamlet. 76. In 1996, Reeves was soon drawn to science fiction roles, appearing in Chain Reaction with co-stars Morgan Freeman, Rachel Weisz, Fred Ward, Kevin Dunn, and Brian Cox. He plays a researcher of a green energy project, who has to go on the run when he is framed for murder. The film gained a mostly negative reaction. Review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes gave it a rating of 16% and described it as a men-on-the-run thriller that mostly sticks to generic formula. 77 Reeves's film choices after Chain Reaction were also critical disappointments. He starred in the independent crime comedy Feeling Minnesota, with Vincent D'Onofrio and Cameron Diaz, which was described as shoddily assembled, and fundamentally miscast by Rotten Tomatoes. 78. Reeves turned down an offer to star in the 1997 film Speed 2, Cruise Control, despite being offered a salary of $12 million. 79 According to Reeves, this decision caused 20th Century Fox to sever ties with him for a decade. 80 Instead, Reeves toured with his band Dogstar, and appeared in the drama The Last Time I Committed Suicide, based on a 1950 letter written by Neil Cassidy to Jack Kerouac. Reeves's performance gained mixed reviews. Paul Tater of CNN called him void of talent. Here he is again, reciting his lines as if they're non-related words strung together as a memory exercise. 81 Whereas Empire magazine thought Reeves gives the nearest thing to a performance in his career as the enthusiastic feckless drunk. 82 He starred in the 1997 supernatural horror The Devil's Advocate alongside Al Pacino and Charlize Theron. Reeves agreed to a pay cut of several $1 million so that the film studio could afford to hire Pacino. 83 Based on Andrew Niederman's novel of the same name, the feature is about a successful young lawyer invited to New York City to work for a major firm, who discovers the owner of the firm is a devil. The Devil's Advocate attracted positive reviews from critics. 84 Film critic James Berardinelli called the film highly enjoyable and wrote, "There are times when Reeves lacks the subtlety that would have made this a more multi-layered portrayal, but it's nevertheless a solid job." 85. 1999 to 2004, resurgence with the Matrix franchise and comedies. Reeves promoting The Day the Earth Stood Still in Mexico, 2008. Reeves promoting The Day the Earth Stood Still in Mexico, 2008. In 1999, Reeves starred in the critically acclaimed science fiction film The Matrix, the first installment in what would become the Matrix franchise. 86 Reeves portrays computer programmer Thomas Anderson, a hacker using the alias Neo, who discovers humanity is trapped inside a simulated reality created by intelligent machines. To prepare for the film, which was written and directed by the Wachowskis, Reeves had read Kevin Kelly's Out of Control, The New Biology of Machines, Social Systems, and the Economic World, and Dylan Evans's Ideas on Evolutionary Psychology. The principal cast underwent months of intense training with martial arts choreographer Yun Wu-ping to prepare for the fight scenes. 87 The Matrix proved to be a box office success. Several critics considered it to be one of the best science fiction films of all time. 88-89 Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times felt it was a wildly cinematic futuristic thriller that is determined to overpower the imagination, despite perceiving weaknesses in the film's dialogue. 90 Janet Maslin of the New York Times credited Reeves for being a strikingly chic Prada model of an action hero, and thought the martial arts stunts were the film's strongest feature. 91 The Matrix received Academy Awards for Best Film Editing, Best Sound Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Sound. 92. After the success of The Matrix, Reeves avoided another blockbuster in favor of the 2000 sports comedy The Replacements. He agreed to a pay cut to enable Gene Hackman to co-star in the film. 83 Against his wishes, Reeves starred in the thriller The Watcher, playing a serial killer who stalks a retired FBI agent. He said that a friend forged his signature on a contract, which he could not prove. He appeared in the film to avoid legal action. 93 Upon its release, the film was critically panned. 94 That year, he had a supporting role in another thriller, Sam Raimi's The Gift, a story about a woman, played by Cate Blanchett, with extrasensory perception asked to help find a young woman who disappeared. The film grossed $44 million worldwide. 95 Film critic Paul Clinton of CNN thought the film was fairly compelling, saying of Reeves's acting, "Raimi managed to get a performance out of Reeves that only occasionally sounds like he's reading his lines from the back of a cereal box." 96. In 2001, Reeves continued to explore and accept roles in a diverse range of genres. The first was a romantic drama, Sweet November, a remake of the 1968 film. This was his second collaboration with Charlize Theron. The film was met with a generally negative reception. 97 Desson Thompson of the Washington Post criticized it for its syrupy cliches, greeting card wisdom, and over-the-top tragicomedy, but commended Reeves for his likability factor in every performance he gives. 98 Later that year, Hardball